This program is brought to you by Pussy Magnets.
Put a midge on your fridge with a pussy magnet.
Welcome, my lovely lumps, or should I say lovely labs. I'm so thrilled to have you here in the Labia Lounge. We're going to yarn about all things sexuality, womanhood, relationships, intimacy, holistic health, and everything in between. Your legs. Ooh, can't help myself. Anyway, we're going to have vag loads of real chats with real people about real shit. So buckle up, you're about to receive the sex ed that you never had and have a bloody good laugh while you're at it. Before we dive in, I'd like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording this, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. It's an absolute privilege to be living and creating dope podcast content in Naarm, and I pay respect to their elders past, present, and emerging. Now, if you're ready, let's flap and do this. Oh my God, is there such thing as too many vagina jokes in the one intro? Whatever, it's my podcast. I'm leaving it in.
Don't panic, you're not broken. Your sex education was a piece of shit. Get your flaps out and pull up a couch. It's the Labia Lounge.
Hey gang, just before we jump into this episode, I wanted to offer you an opportunity to access my new mini course for free before I start charging for it in future. It's for people with vulvas and it's quick to complete. It's all about demystifying the female body and pleasure anatomy and getting some basic fundamentals to understand your body better. It's called Pussy Pleasure Secrets, Your Roadmap to Bedroom Bliss. You can grab it on the freebies page of my website or in the show notes. It's a great little free resource to kind of dip your toe in or act as a bit of a taster for my work. So if you've ever been curious about this sort of thing and you just don't know where to start, or you want a really quick, easy, accessible, non-threatening way to get the ball rolling and start working on this stuff, this is a great place to start. Hey, my labial legends, welcome back. For this episode, I actually returned to Virtue & Vice's signature play party, Boudoir. And if you haven't already listened to my other episodes on this, you should totally go back and check out the following episodes. Vanilla Queen goes to her first sex party. That was a recounting of my first ever sex party maybe 9 months ago. Behind the scenes of a sex party with Virtue & Vice, and the final episode, which was a whole bunch of interviews and chats with partygoers, is called Live at a Sex Party, Chats with Partygoers at Virtue & Vice Play Party. They're really incredible glimpses into this scene, and I've already had some absolutely rad chats with people in this community, so I was very excited to return. And this episode is going to be a bunch of interviews and chats that I had at Virtue & Vice's latest event at Melbourne Pavilion, and also peppered in there a couple of little conversations that I recorded at a previous event and just never kind of released, because I sort of felt at the time a little bit vulnerable about it, because they were quite candid chats that myself and my little team had in the beer garden while we were off duty. At the end of the episode, there's a really big discussion with my two assistants, one being a friend and one being a sort of potential lover at the time, where we chatted about, my relationship to sex and love and kink, and actually unpacked our kind of navigating of that in real time. And then in the middle, there's a whole heap of just fascinating conversations that I had on the lounge with partygoers who really generously opened up about their experiences in the sex party scene or the swinger lifestyle. It's a super cool and just incredible insight into this world, and I just want to thank everyone who was courageous and open enough to come and have a chinwag with me for this episode. I will say that the sound is pretty nuts, as is pretty common with these live events. I set up the cunt couch, the pussy lounge, inside the venue for people to come and have a sit and have a yarn on the actual live labia lounge with me. But that sort of means that there's music in the background from the stages, and it's quite loud. So some parts of some of the recordings ended up being unusable. I've done my best to just cut together the decent bits and make it really bearable to listen to. So I hope that you, still get some juice out of this. I'm pretty obsessed with some of the conversations that I had with these fucking incredible, fascinating people. Yeah, so that's enough from me for now. I'll let you dive in. And as always, comment on the episode or DM me to let me know your thoughts.
I would be fucking so shocked. Like, I'm almost 100% certain, like, my brother would not ever be down with something like this, ever. Like, I would be super surprised.
You never know.
Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit, but, like, yeah. I mean, actually, him and, like, his partner and, like, all my siblings and cousins actually have gotten really into fairy smut lately. They've been, like, reading, like, erotica, like, fantasy erotica. But my brother did say, and I will kind of echo this because I agreed, because I'd never read any of it, but everyone's banging on about it. My family are talking about these sexy books all of a sudden, which is, like, so not on brand. Like, they don't even ever ask me about my work because they would be horrified to even have a conversation about it.
They're aware of what you're doing?
Yeah, I guess so, but they don't want to know. They don't want to hear about it. They never ask me about it. They're terrified of hearing something that makes them really uncomfortable because it must be very confronting, I guess. So yeah, I was like, wow, they're talking about, like, sexy books. Like, that's pretty new territory. Okay, wow. So I was like, I'll read these books. But my brother said, like, oh yeah, like, you know, like, it's, I just like this, because we all read fantasy and we like the plot, we like the story. And he's like, I like the story and, you know, the books are pretty good, but, like, every time there's a sex scene, I'm like, oh God, here we go. Got to bloody get through this to get back to the story. And I'm like, yeah, same. Because the sex scenes in these books, like, once you've read one, you've read them all. And I'm like, I don't care. This is boring to me. It sounds like really, like, hectic sex that isn't really my brand anyway. And it's unrealistic as fuck because it's so sensationalized. And I'm like, I just want to get back to the dragons and the fairies, you know? So anyway.
I'm shook right now. That is such a surprising
I know.
response. Like, I'm actually like,
it's weird that I'm a sex coach, right?
Sometimes it just, but I guess in that way you kind of like holding the polarity of, like, you're bringing a very unique perspective to sex and intimacy in that way.
I'm the sex coach for the vanilla-nils, I guess. But also I'm very open-minded. So it's like, I might not be into it, but I get why people are. And I'm, like, stoked for them. But yeah, like, it's just not, it doesn't do it for my brain. Like, occasionally, like, I'll read a sex scene and I'll be, like, slightly turned on. But, like, I mean, I don't even watch porn. Like, it just doesn't, yeah.
Good. Porn's terrible.
Cool. Okay,
we've hopped around a lot on these topics, yeah.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I'm curious about your first ever sex party.
Yeah.
If you remember, play party, sex party, like, do you have a story or an anecdote about the early days when you started exploring?
Together or individually?
Either or both.
I think we both previously went separately. I lived in London for a while and I went to Killing Kittens, which was, have you heard of Killing Kittens?
No.
They did. So I don't know if this was the first party, but this was my first memory. So I have a terrible memory. So I came across a website called Killing Kittens, and it was basically a group of people that were, like, sexually adventurous, and you had to sort of apply to be a member, and then they had these sort of private parties. And in the UK, they had this manor house. Yeah. So I went to the manor house, and it was like something out of Eyes Wide Shut. It was like a masquerade ball. It was all for women. So you go in there and they give you the rules, which was all like the women, whatever the women want, they get, you know, like the men are just there to play with, basically. And it was good, right? Because and I went there and they had, like, a fire pit and a indoor swimming pool, spa pool, DJ. Like, it was nuts. It was like something out of, and I was, like, walking around all these rooms in this, like, literal mansion. There were people fucking in that room and watching, and there were other people, like, it was just wild. And I remember being nervous, but very quickly chilling out, because I think what people underestimate about the environment is that the people are so welcoming and so accepting, so much more than any part of society I've ever been in. And that's what I love about it, you know. And I think everyone made me feel so comfortable, you know. And I've been to sex parties and not done anything, or only made out with my own partner, or, you know, just used it as, like, live porn, if you like, or and it's been great. So I think, yeah. And then when we met, we both figured out pretty quickly that we were into that. And my last partner wasn't, so it was a while since I'd been. and we went to a little bar in St Kilda, Elstonwick, Paran sort of area, and went there together, and it was great because we're very liberal, so it was it was a really good experience.
And how quickly and how did you both figure out that you're into this scene? Like, do you kind of mention that quite early on in dating?
Yeah, because we both, I'll let speak to his experience, but we both were in long-term relationships with people who were absolutely not into it, and I didn't think it was an issue at the time, but then after coming out of it, I realised that I played down a part of myself, right, that was important to me and that I couldn't tap into. And so being with someone, obviously it's an ideal wish list, but ideally I wanted someone who was open to, or who was open liberal sexually, and able to talk about it and communicate about it and be open to experiences. And I think did you have a similar experience?
Yeah, we met on Hinge as well, and I kind of telegraphed it quite early on that I'd want that kind of partner, because having not had that for several years, I did feel like I was quite repressed sexually, just being me. I wasn't allowed to be what I wanted to be, kind of thing. So I made it quite clear early on that was kind of the partner I was looking for, and it turned out that that's exactly what I got. That's awesome. So
that's so fucking incredible. We feel very lucky, you guys.
Yeah.
Did you have a story about one of your early times checking out the scene?
It was my ex-partner probably about 10 years ago, and we watched something about Louis Theroux about swinging pies, and we're like,
really?
She's going to do it. And she was like, yeah, cool. And she was bisexual, so she's very liberal as well. So we went to a few places. She lived in the southeast, so like around Moorabbin and like Seaford area. The first few times it was terrifying. It was like, you don't know what you're walking into, but everyone's so welcoming and open. Like, I've never really had a bad experience. Consent wise, it's just been we all seem to manage really well, where females are given the priority and and the protection they need, way more than like a dodgy nightclub like Revs in Chapel.
Totally.
Chapel Street. So it's a really safe space to go to with somebody. I think it just makes you feel like I don't dress like this normally. It's nice to be able to just do something different and dress ridiculous and just have fun.
And we are a bit voyeuristic as well.
Yeah.
So
Perfect. Match made in heaven.
Yeah.
So question for the penis owners, because I feel like anytime I tell people I'm coming and setting up at one of these things, if it's someone with a dick, they're like, and that hasn't been involved in this scene, they're like, oh, I just don't think I could like get it up or keep it up. Like, there'd be so much pressure.
Oh, okay.
When you were going in the early days and you said you're a bit terrified, like, did you have any issues with like performance anxiety or anything like that?
No, it's much more social interactions and what to expect from people. Like, I didn't know if people could be fucking everywhere, trying to be hitting on my partner. Like, I didn't know really what to expect. But anxiety-wise, performance-wise, not really. No, it comes and goes sometimes. Sometimes you just don't feel it. You're not into the night, but it depends. Like,
it's the same for me though as well. Like sometimes, I don't carry lube around, so it either works or it doesn't.
Like I said, I'm quite voyeuristic, so I do. It does turn me on seeing people watching having sex and fucking like that. That's a big turn on for me. So it's a big part of it.
It's fuel.
Yeah.
Amazing. One last question. If there is something, there might not be, but is there anything from this scene that's like missing where you see there could be room for improvement or like a gap in the market or something that you feel like you're not getting that you wished you were?
Oh, that's a great question. What do you think?
I'd say probably just like more regionally, like a lot of it's Melbourne and Seaford, like south east. There's not that out Geelong way. There's not that outside of Melbourne, so it's very Melbourne centric. And if you don't live in Melbourne, it's quite hard to get into. And we met people who travelled for like an hour to get to like Diamond Creek to go for an hour there and pay $100. And it's it'd be better if it was more widespread. I guess more accepted in the community. I think that's
totally.
There's people cater for all choices. There's like bondage night, BDSM nights. Like there's all sorts of different nights. It's well catered for. It's just very Melbourne centric.
I think also just totally off topic, but one of the things I love about it is body positivity.
Yeah.
Because as a woman, I'm always self-conscious about my body, but I never feel better about my body than when I'm half naked at a swingers party, because I see all the bodies, right? And everyone looks great and sexy and and I just think, and people own it, and it's really good to see all the different shapes and sizes and to see people owning that, you know, because you don't really see that.
You don't.
And as a woman, it just is quite, it's good. It helps me feel better about my own body when I see other people, like, you know. Yeah. So for me, that's a big part of it as well, is seeing all these other bodies, bigger, smaller, taller, shorter, whatever, also in lingerie and just owning it and looking great and feeling great. And I think that's a good message, you know. So I think,
and
that's
like,
important.
Where else do you see
no,
that?
you don't.
No
you
other,
don't.
like social spaces.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Where it's so refreshing.
That's
and
right.
That was one of the first things I noticed, because I'm pretty new to the scene.
Yeah. Okay.
I just was like, what the fuck? It's so cool how liberating and like just comfortable and non-judgmental everyone is. And it's so great that there's none of this kind of like, almost, especially among women, like women really
Judginess.
Bond over self-criticizing and self-deprecation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling so fat
Yeah,
today.
so
I'm
much.
looking at this.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen my skin? Oh,
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. Everyone's just out and proud.
Yeah.
Feeling themselves here. And it's really nice to be around.
Yeah.
When we go like, between friends, wine bar, we talk to so many people. Like, it doesn't happen at normal bars. Like, we just sit and talk about daft shit. Like, places we've gone to, like, other swingers bars, just connect to you. So it's really easy to talk to other people without having that, like, false sense of why you're talking to me. Like, you know what you're here for. And, it doesn't always end.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's completely,
And so, okay, one last question.
Yeah, that's right. We got time.
So do you guys come and play with others when you're here, or you mostly engage with each other and just enjoy being sort of seen by others?
It's mostly each other. You know, we've been together for like 9 months, so it's still quite early on.
Yeah.
Previous relationships, I didn't do a lot with other people, and my partner was bisexual, so she was cool with that, and that's fine for me. But no, at the minute we enjoy the voyeurism part of it, and yeah, it's huge, Sean. But you speak for yourself.
Yeah, I have not with Sean, but with other partners, I have played with other people. But it's not. I really, to be honest, to get off, I have a need for an emotional connection, which I don't get from randoms. And I fucked a lot of randoms in my time, and wasn't that great half the time. So, like, for me, I would. It's not that I wouldn't, but at the moment, our sort of rule is only we play with each other. But that might change in the future. But at the moment, I think we get what we need from it just by talking to other people, having social connections, and then using it as a way to enjoy ourselves more. But it's not necessarily to find a threesome or to do that kind of thing, because I've done that before, and it's just, it's okay, but it's not something I am seeking, if you like. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. What's your podcast? Vulva Lounge?
The Labia Lounge.
The Labia Lounge.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me.
Pleasure. Love your earrings.
Thanks. I made them. Actually, I've got some for sale over there. Okay. So would love to hear about your first ever play party or sex party experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Yep. I'm happy to jump in because Virtue and Vice about 8 months ago was my first.
Was it here?
It was here,
I think that was my first.
November?
Too. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Did we cross paths?
I was like very tentatively dipping. I was doing like a Reiki mish to see if this would be a vibe here.
Yeah, 100% agree. That's
came along
absolutely
and I
my
was
mindset.
like stoned as fuck, and I was like, oh my God.
No, what do I do?
Love that.
Yeah, so that was my first. Yeah.
And how was?
Obsessed. It was, I feel like it's set a really high bar for me, unfortunately, because I think that there's such a liberty to coming into a play space and not knowing anyone and having every opportunity. The longer you're in the scene, the more complex it gets with existing play friends and dynamics that you then need to consider. So I think that the first time walking in and having every opportunity open to you was really hot. And there's experiences that I've chased since and they haven't hit the same. And I think it was part of that novelty to it being my first time that was just so hot.
Whoa, okay. So when you're talking about like existing dynamics to navigate and things like that, like anonymously, like can you give me an example of like what you now have to kind of factor in, and like, you know, are you arriving and kind of going, I played with that person last time but I don't want to be tethered, and how do I, like, tell me what are the ins and outs?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. And it's, I don't know if I necessarily agree that it's about being tethered, but it's more about being considerate of where they're at, what their needs are, and also my needs. So if the play experience wasn't my favourite the last time, would I be pursuing that again? Probably not. So then being aware of that person in the space, and obviously being comfortable to advocate for yourself and being able to say no in that situation. But having that consideration is a different frame of mind to be in than when you are just really fresh, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed coming into it for the first time.
Yeah. And you're like, fresh meat, so
100%. Oh, there's like a spotlight going through the crowd as you walk through it. It's the sexiest thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But loved it.
Okay. Incredible. How about you?
My first was actually Shed 16 down in Seaford.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's same people that own Ware on Wellington.
Okay.
So that was my first experience and I had a grand time. But I think that one of the things that people need to remember going into these things is that everybody is there and everyone needs to be respected and to always say no if you're not interested and to hold to those convictions more than anything. But I also think that you need to be very open-minded and you need to be very understanding and respectful that there's lots of different bodies around and to make sure that you're always looking respectful when you're looking at those bodies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you have a face on you that might be in shock, that can really turn somebody's night, absolutely haywire. And so I think that's another responsibility of anybody that sort of comes here is understanding that even if you're not with those people, be respectful of what they're doing, who they are, what they may look like, and still embrace the pleasure and happiness. I think that's really important.
That's so beautiful. Are you talking from personal experience where you've felt impacted by someone being punched?
No. I have not. I've never, and I'm an absolute exhibitionist. Like I could have 40 people watching me, and it's never fucking enough, But it's more that I've seen women in those spaces look very uncomfortable, and then I'm a girl, so I'm someone who sees a girl that's uncomfortable, and I just want to grab them and be like, "Babes, you're gorgeous! Like you're just stunning." And I always think to myself, could people have been a little bit more kind in their looks and their gazes? Had a smile on their face instead of maybe a shock that might have affected their night a bit better.
Yeah.
So I think people forget about that sometimes.
Totally.
Like it's cool to watch. I mean, I love people watching, but watch with a smile on your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
So for me, Shed 16 was amazing. I had a great time. Got lost in the maze, but loved the glory holes. So I was fine to get lost in them.
Wait. Glory holes?
Glory hole's my jam. I just love the idea of that. And it's a fantasy that I haven't yet fulfilled is for me to be totally blindfolded and for Caitlin to pick every single male that is with me for that night and me not to know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a glory hole at that. Because there's not one here, right? I haven't seen.
We haven't walked around yet. We saw your labia lips and wanted to walk in here.
Yes. Fuck off, glory hole.
Yeah.
I know what you need. Okay, so glory hole, talk me through the logistics. People put their penis.
So it's a hole literally, and they put their dick through it, and then you get to suck it and play with it and whatever you like, which is so much fun because I also have this little thing where I want to go to a glory hole place with another couple, make the boys sit there, and then we suck each other's boyfriends' dicks, and then they have to work out who's actually doing it. So it's like pick the suck. Do you know how well your girlfriend sucks your cock, or are you wondering who it is?
You've got to do that.
I know, right? Like, how much fun is that?
Oh my God.
But I've already decided that the girls would have to, I would have to swap notes with the other girl about how she sucks her boyfriend's dick. Otherwise, they're likely to win.
Yeah.
And we can't have that. Let's be honest here. Can't have that.
No. Okay, so how do you, are you two a couple, friends? What you said?
Yep.
Both. Yeah, both.
So Caitlin was introduced to me by another one of our lovers and I immediately gravitated to her. I mean, you just heard how she spoke. She's just an amazing creature.
Articulate, intelligent.
Goddess. Goddess.
Keep going.
And you got it there. She's incredibly intelligent. And I gravitate to women that are very similar to me, that have strong values. And so I've taken it and you're never allowed to leave now. That's done.
What was really important to us from the start was building a rapport outside of that mutual play friend as well. Yes. So before we'd even met, we had each other's contact details and we knew quite a lot about each other before we'd even had a drink together, which to us I think was really important to solidify a relationship that was independent, that allowed us to advocate for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Outside of anything else?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It was very important to us.
God.
And
I'm obsessed.
now, if I can be honest, I talk to her more than I talk to our lover, like easily. So, and I told him that the other night. He was like, "Argh." And I was like, well, that's reality, isn't it? Girls are better to chat with. Like, there's not the one sentence sort of thing. It's actually a paragraph of what's happened during the day. You know, how's your day? Good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that tells me a lot.
And I'm like, what were your traumas?
Yeah. You can't expand. And now I'm like, I really, really love her opinion on things and I trust her implicitly. So I know that when we go to events like this, we're both very, very secure and we could have each other's back and we wouldn't leave each other. There's like a whole thing that is unsaid that I just know, if that makes sense.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful. I love that for you guys. Because I think it would be tricky to navigate spaces like this with someone who, you know, for instance, didn't have amazing communication, didn't have the best boundaries.
Yes.
You know, any kind of people-pleasy action going on is like big red flag for me. Like it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then, just that feeling of implicitly trusting someone to have your back.
Yeah.
So important because otherwise I feel like it could be quite traumatic.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I've actually heard when we were fucking someone, I've heard you actually turn around to them and like, make sure you put on a condom.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what was going on, face down in the bed, not knowing. And I knew as soon as she said that, I was like, I don't know whether I want to play with that person. She just had to ask him, but I knew that she would have my back in that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most fabulous things that I've found in this world is actually having a beautiful friendship like this. Like you don't have many people that you can trust that implicitly, really.
It's a very different level of intimacy.
It is. It is. You're absolutely right.
Makes you sick, doesn't it?
All right, well, while I've got you here, because it seems like you guys are very switched on and very across this scene and, like, the needs, especially of women, like, is there something that's kind of missing or that could be done better?
Ooh, good question. I kind of feel like the scene at the moment is more female-dominated than it is male-dominated. I think that if anything, we probably don't give the boys enough of a chance half the time. I think the patriarchy has kind of pushed us to a position where we put women first. And certainly this generation that is coming through and are more likely to push that even further than the three of us. So I think that for women, this is actually our time, not theirs.
Yeah, definitely. I think that I've been really pleasantly surprised. And I think because it's such a female-dominated space that the approach towards consent has been absolutely zero tolerance to anything other than strict adherence to it. So the events that we gravitate towards, they're the ones that are really on the ball about making sure that there's consent angels walking around and you know exactly what they look like and how you can find them. And when I've called upon them previously, they have been absolutely phenomenal. And they've done exactly what I was hoping that they would do. So knowing that there's safe advocates in the space for you to be able to touch base with as you need to throughout the night, rather than seeing, you know, opportunities where the industry can change, I'm hoping to recognize the ones that are doing it really well and wanting to patronize them more frequently instead.
100%. Yeah. And that's why, like, I love these events so much.
100%.
Like, I interviewed the organizer for a podcast episode a while ago. And it was so phenomenal just hearing the amount of, like, thought and intention and effort that gets put into that consent culture and safety. And yeah. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys get
Thank you so much.
the action.
So fun.
So I've just been asking people about their first play party experience.
Oh, that's a good question. For me, it was probably my second or third sexual experience ever, really, was at a gangbang. I mean, I was very curious about the whole thing, so I found a thing online and went along to it, and I didn't know how I would go in that space, and it turns out, like, I'm not put off by being around other people. It's the thing. I'm an exhibitionist. I like the whole group dynamic thing. I just think it's fun. So, I've been trying to be as fully involved in everything since then as I can. I've been in and out of it over the years. And like COVID obviously was a bit of a long hiatus, but I'm at a point now where I'm meeting more people, I'm going to things more regularly, and I'm really excited about it.
That's so dope. I'm, like, very impressed that so early on in your sort of sexual career, you just like literally leapt in the deep end.
Yeah.
And like, was that, so when you say gangbang, I'm so vanilla, sorry. Is it like a bunch of dudes and a girl? Is it just an orgy?
It was a bunch of guys and a girl. And it was an event and they called it Gangbangs for Goddesses. Oh. So the idea was that like the women there are the goddesses and all the men are there to serve them.
Yeah.
And the women were still generally quite submissive. They weren't necessarily in the dom role. But it was still like you are here to fulfill their fantasy and just do what they want, even if that means dominating them. And it was just run out of an apartment, you know, it was a very sort of underground kind of thing. And this was 7 or 8 years ago now. So it was about 4 guys to a girl. And it started with a massage. Everyone just kind of massaging all different parts, and then it just sort of escalated from there.
Wow. Yeah. And so was there like a vetting process? Were these all strangers you found online?
There was. Like, you had to send like a photo in, basically. And I think the women, they got to sort of say what they were looking for in terms of age and height and ethnicity and so forth. It was a pretty easy thing for me to sort of get involved with.
Okay. Privately organised and stuff?
They had a website and they were on FetLife. So I think that's how I met the person who ran it at another event that was just sort of more of a munch, and heard about it there, and so followed through to their website and ended up going to it there. So.
And so you said you were like not sure how you were going to go, whether the performance anxiety would strike, but you were just into it.
I was like, I'm not going to die wondering.
And it went awesome?
Yeah.
So good.
Ah.
Happy for you.
Thank you.
Fab, thank you so much.
No, my pleasure.
Hey, baby babes. Sorry to interrupt. I just had to pop my head into the lounge here and mention another virtual lounge that I'd love you to get around. It's the Labia Lounge Facebook group that I've created for listeners of the potty to mingle in. There you'll find extra bits and bobs like freebies, behind the scenes, or discounts for offerings from guests who have been interviewed on the podcast. There'll also be, hopefully, inspiring, thought-provoking conversations and support from a community of labial legends like yourself. My vision for this is that it becomes a really supportive, educational and hilarious resource for you to have more access to me and a safe space to ask questions you can't ask anywhere else. So head over to the links in the show notes or look up the Labia Lounge group in Facebook and I'll see you in there. And now, back to the episode.
So you do photography here. Do you ever attend these events? What's your role in this scene in general?
Yeah, for sure. So, no, I haven't really attended these events. The first time I ever came to an event like this was for photography. I've worked for a few different kind of parties that are like this, and I found that this was probably the one that I guess was the best for me in terms of my values and ethics and things like that. But I love it. It's kind of part of me growing into who I am now, and it's an awesome part of my life being able to come to these. I've done a few of them now, so I love it.
Getting to like be a voyeur and see through the eyes of the camera like these sorts of scenes.
Yeah.
Do you get tempted to get involved? Do you think one day that it is something you're interested in?
Yeah, look, I definitely have been tempted. Sometimes when I put the camera down, I do like to be a spectator. I like to go and see what people are doing, and, that's, like, I guess an arousing thing for me. My partner and I are probably not the type of people that would do this in a public event, but it definitely has crossed my mind.
Amazing. Is there anything, like, you want to share for, like, a beginner that might be interested in getting involved, or, like, literally anything at all that's kind of in this realm?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anytime I talk to people about this event, I think that everyone does have a little bit of a stigma thinking that it is way more intense than what it is. And don't get me wrong, there are some spots that can be pretty heated, but I think that the overall kind of atmosphere, especially with Virtue and Vice, is very safe, very comforting. There's a lot of people that work in the space to make sure that things are consensual and, as I said, safe, and that everyone's having a really good time. You don't have to be interested in kind of, I guess, having sex or swinging to come to this event. Like, there's some incredible performers, and you can support people who are in the sex work industry as well. And but yeah, I think my biggest take whenever I tell people about it is it's not as intimidating as you think it is.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I think people assume if you go, you're having sex. Like, you've got to get involved. Like, only like 20% of the party are even doing that at any time. Yeah. Anyway, like, most people are just chatting and mingling and dancing and watching performances. Like, it's the best place to dip your toe in without needing to like go the whole hog.
Yeah, and I definitely think that it's a really cool space to kind of let your freak flag fly. Yeah. If you're someone who likes to dress up, even if you're not into kink, even if you're not into BDSM or any of that sort of stuff, you want to dress up, you want to have fun, you want to socialise, you want to meet people, you want to feel sexy, and you want to have an opportunity to get out of the house and do something that's not mundane, this is a really cool place to come and feel seen and welcomed, and like nothing that you do is judged. You know, like, this is a very welcoming environment. There's no judgment on anyone here. And I think that's the thing that I love the most about it. And like the woman who owns this event and runs this event, like, she is phenomenal. I couldn't speak more highly of her. She's epic. So this wouldn't be as amazing as it is without her.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, that was the perfect advertisement.
Yeah.
You just
I know. Hashtag not an ad.
Affiliate marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is not a paid advertising.
Talk to me. How did you get into the scene? Do you want to recount your first ever play experience and how that was?
I'm very green. So this is my first event. I actually set up half the beds. So, well, actually all of the beds. So I am very, very new to this. And my first play experience, I nearly went over there just a minute ago and then I bailed. So that's my whole experience so far.
Oh my, okay, so wait, what did you bail on? Did you have a partner ready to go there?
Yeah. We were going over there and I was like, oh, this doesn't feel like...
And did you meet them here or you came
No,
with them?
I just met her at the speed dating as well.
Okay. Oh!
Yeah, so it was
met at the speed dating and then did she suggest...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Fuck, that's a quick flag. That's
it's
0
a quick
to 100.
turnover, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, shit. Palpitations, you know.
And then, so what'd you say?
I just said, sorry, I don't think I feel comfortable with it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
she was super chill. Yeah, I just kind of left her there.
Yeah.
I think maybe not quite my type either.
Okay.
So there was definitely an attraction.
Yeah.
Thing, but it was like, oh, in the spirit of things, like, yeah, okay, fuck it. And then I was like, maybe not. Yeah.
When in Rome, and then also actually,
yeah, you get pickpocketed in Rome. It's not the holiday you thought it would be.
So, like, you found yourself here because you've been helping out with the setup?
Yeah, correct. So I helped with the setup, and then they were like, you get a free ticket. So obviously you come to the event because we have to pack it down after as well. So it's be a very late evening.
Bro, maybe
or an early morning.
Because old mate over here wants to leave before it finishes.
Oh shit! No, I've got so much to pack up. You're not going home early. No way, bro. We're gonna pack up like basically everything else. Yeah. Forget about that.
They're gonna be broken in at that stage, isn't
Yeah, they are. I think they've already been broken in before. So
nah, you just wait until the last hour. Those nets.
They go ham
no square inch of space left. It's
okay.
Flesh palace.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure one bed did actually break at an event.
Yeah, no, it has. I've been told, yeah. Definitely broke the bed.
All right, so this is like brand new. You've never really been involved in this sort of scene or lifestyle
Correct.
previously.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So how are you finding me here?
I think it's pretty chill, to be honest. Like, it's a pretty good crowd. The speed dating definitely helped break the ice for me a bit as well, because I did find it kind of feel like a bit of an outsider. So, yeah, it's really fascinating. Like, I'm not... Excuse me.
No,
I'm not...
I had some pizza earlier. And I've been,
exactly. Yeah, the beer is like...
trying not to burp in their faces.
I've been exploring kind of the avenues a little bit. So I went to a munch the other week.
Oh, yeah.
Which was interesting, just like to meet people, and, you know, everybody's just people in the end. And I think that's what people don't realize as well. It's not this like underground, like super debaucherous, like seedy thing that it is. Like, this is fairly classy, which is good as well.
Totally.
Yeah, like just in terms of like body liberation and stuff like that, like I'm definitely more of an advocate for that now as well. So, I love going on nude beach. Nude beach is like my favorite thing now. Like I went once and I'm like, oh my God, this is the best. So like, it's just stuff like that. It's just like, that kind of opened my eyes a bit to like non-sexualized nudity. And so obviously this is much more sexual, but it doesn't have to be overt as well. So yeah, it's super interesting. But I'm from Adelaide, so yeah, if any of my this would give most of my friends a heart attack. So you know, like I wanted to see a bit more of the world. Maybe this is too much. I don't know.
Pretty deep end.
Yeah, it's pretty deep end. Yeah,
That's
I just like to get out of my comfort zone and do stuff and like maybe I will get in there tonight, but not with that particular human. Unfortunately,
honestly,
but
no pressure though.
That's what I mean.
It's your
Yeah,
first time even being in a space like this. It's pretty overwhelming.
there's a lot going on. Yeah, so
like go easy on yourself.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's me. There you go.
And so you've been getting into some munches. Is that because you've got kinks, or you're just curious about?
Just curious about meeting people and seeing what that world was like and stuff like that. I think probably just come off the back of just a very traumatic monogamous single dating experience that I'm like, okay, what else is out there kind of thing. But I think the more that I do this stuff, the more I feel like I probably am still more inclined to being monogamy and stuff.
Try to know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so at least I won't wonder.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good benefit of me coming to this as well. So yeah, I'm still open to it and stuff, but long term, I think I'm looking for something more.
I'm exactly the same. It's like, I'm open-minded. I'm non-judgmental. I'm fascinated by all of it. I'm very much happy to dip my toe in. And sometimes I wish I was more into this sort of thing because everyone loves it and seems like they're having the best fucking time ever.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's good because it's like, especially like through my work and through the podcast, I get to like be in these spaces and sample the different things and kind of go, okay, now I know. I had an inkling that it wasn't my thing, and now I've kind of pushed myself out of my comfort zone, and I'm pretty happy to just come back.
Yeah.
And be like vanilla dog.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think it's so good to do, to just, get out of your comfort zone and like sample all the smorgasbord of,
life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Without that, like, yeah, you just always be wondering. I think that was probably my concern. Yeah. So no more. Oh, not going to wonder. Because I mean, like in the end, pleasure is still pleasure. Like whether you end up in that room or not. Yeah. The outcome's usually the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And is it called the Labia Lounge? Amazing. Love that so much. That is so great.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
Did you guys already know Jonas?
No, he just beckoned to us.
He's good. He's a good sprucer. Yeah. Honestly, best assistant I've ever had. Most of my friends are like me and they're quite introverted and they don't want to approach people. And then we get to events and they're like, no, I'm not going to sprint. I'm not going to go talk to that person. I'm like, but that's why you're here. I don't want to have to do it. Like, who's going to do it? And then we just see it. You've been really good.
And it was beautiful. It wasn't pushy at all. It was just like, we were reading the sign, eye contact, like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, it was great.
To be fair, you came over to the sign and looked at it, and your facial expression just said, whatever this is, I want to be a part of. And I was like, well, fucking come along and just see how it goes.
That's so true. I was very excited reading the sign.
Okay, amazing. So I've pretty much just been like asking people a few questions. Yeah. Like, for instance, like, do you remember your first ever sex party, play party experience, or do you have a story? Oh, okay. All right, we'll start with you.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so I went to the first play party I ever went to. You had to go to a full 1-day mandatory consent workshop before you could attend the actual party, which I thought was amazing. And it was all like, they taught you about different forms of consent, and then also you would practice setting boundaries with people. And then there was like, you do like a short clothes-on scene if you wanted to, with a little bit of rope and a chest harness for anyone who wanted to participate. So it was like a good like taste and step into the scene and what to expect. And I loved it that because everyone was on the same page, and they would give out these little cards of like questions to ask before you would engage with someone. And it was just I thought it was very thoughtful, very educational. And the first party I went to, it was a kink party, and I saw things I'd never seen before, and it was amazing. I saw these two people in a blow-up, like kiddie pool. And then they had next to the kiddie pool on tables like a bunch of different food items, and then you would ask them if you could smush the food onto their naked bodies.
Oh my God.
So there was cake, there was whipped cream, there was all sorts of things. It was amazing. And then I saw a naked person get blown up in like a human-sized like flesh balloon. And then, so he was standing and it was giant, and then people could touch him through the balloon with their consent. And then I did a spontaneous scene, which was like spank Tiggy, which was like, they cleared out some space. They had like 3 people participating, and basically we had like different like words to shout out. Where they would run after me, and then if they caught me, they got to spank me. Or unless someone said freeze or slow, then it would like became really like soft, sensual touch. And I had like a break zone that I could go to. Anyway, it was so spectacular. There were so many creative things there. It was an incredible entry into the scene.
And you just like kind of made up this game on the fly at your first ever party.
It's very me. I'm such an exhibitionist. I was like, I want to play and I want to do something like fun.
Wow.
It was
a pro move right there. You nailed that. You clocked that party.
Thank you very much. They're an amazing group of people. It was a really cool scene.
Wow.
Yeah. In Melbourne. Yeah. They've since like rebranded but I haven't attended one of their parties in a while, but this was like maybe like 5-6 years ago, and it was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you.
You need to trademark that game and facilitate it at these events.
Oh my gosh, I totally should.
Literally could.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I will.
Like everyone else's experience of like their first sex party be like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a story?
Well, it's going to be incredibly like bland after that, but it was here actually. It was at a Vice and Virtue, maybe like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
at the one that I met you at.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What was that one?
We've only met twice. Yeah, tonight and at a previous party.
And with the 2 lovebirds who are over there.
Yeah.
And I arrived with those 2 lovebirds and then a couple of other friends, and we ended up having a really lovely like kind of initial kind of walk around here, and we ended up engaging in group sex that we had like talked about beforehand, like set intentions. And I think that was something that I'd never experienced, was like the whole setting intentions before you go and do what you wanted to do. So everyone set their boundaries beforehand. And it was just really like, it was the most respectful, beautiful time I've ever had sexually, because it was like there was a good 5 or 6 of us who had already discussed like what we wanted from the night.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. And it was here.
Oh my God. And like, what were some examples of the things that, you shared that you wanted to get out of it, or the intentions that were being set?
Well, okay, for example, my intention was spanking. I really wanted to be spanked. And actually there's someone who I met here who I've then seen at several sex parties after the first one, who I saw engaging in group sex, and I was like, he invited me to join, and I said, I'm not quite ready for that, but he was like, what can I do for you? And I was like, that's beautiful. The phrase like, what can I do for you? Yeah. And I was like, well, I really want to be spanked. And he was like, amazing. So we did some spanking, and I have since seen him at like the last few sex parties, and we have engaged in the same like kind of like, it's become a tradition now. So like, I know, beautiful, beautiful, so lovely. So I'm like, brothers, it's spanking time.
I'm sure he's over. I saw him just before. I'm going to go see him later on.
You're going to spank date to attend.
Absolutely.
I have a fun little side story if you want to know it. It's short, but I've been starting this movement at sex parties in Melbourne, but also this has also happened in San Francisco, where at some point I will get people to do the Macarena with me in lingerie to whatever music is playing. And I want this to spread as a phenomenon because I've done it at multiple events and people always want to join in.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just want to say, if anyone is listening to this and if you're at a sex party at some point, please crack out. Yeah. Macarena. Do it, exactly.
Are you going to do it tonight?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know when. Maybe a little bit later. But I'll come and grab you if you would like to join.
Okay. I imagine that you start in the middle of the dance floor and it just ripples.
Yes. And yes, exactly. And then at some point I cue to go double time. And then if anyone is game, triple time.
What?
Yeah. It's very fun.
You're an adrenaline junkie.
I am.
So I would love to hear about your first ever play party experience.
My first ever play party experience was a long time ago.
How long have you been in the scene?
About 4 years. And I explored it with a partner who was exploring it for the first time too. And I think that's one of the nicest ways to do it. Without any pressure, and I've got to say the community that I've grown to know, that pressure has never been there. It's a fantastic experience. And it's nice to bring people to their first times too.
Do you have any sort of stories from these parties or this lifestyle that you feel comfortable sharing that might be interesting or entertaining or insightful for people?
In my day job, there's a lot of talk about diversity and inclusivity, and it's a lot of talk but not a lot of walk. And I've got to say again that this community probably walks the walk better than I've ever seen anywhere. Everyone feels comfortable in these spaces, no matter gender, body shape, sexuality. Again, the inclusivity of people coming here, even for the first time, will feel comfortable about themselves in ways they've never felt before, and that's very empowering.
Incredible. What have you discovered about yourself through attending these sort of events?
I have discovered a lot about myself. I've discovered a lot about my personal power as a woman. It's very empowering. The sex-positive community and learning about consent gave me the capacity to say no as much as yes in my life and create boundaries and enforce those boundaries without feeling bad about myself.
Epic. What a fantastic side effect. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? Maybe even something for a beginner that would be interested or curious, or anything else relevant that you feel like sharing?
People feel guilty about pursuing pleasure almost just as much as they feel guilty about resting these days.
Yeah.
And I think both of those things are such important parts of having a balanced life. A person without pleasure in their life is quite boring and dull, and no one wants to be that.
Love that. Great message. Thank you.
Excuse this quick interruption. I'm shamelessly seeking reviews and 5-star ratings for the potty because, as I'm sure you've noticed by now, it's pretty fab, and the more people who get to hear it, the more people I can help with it. Reviews and ratings actually do make a big difference to this little independent podcaster. And it's really easy to just quickly show your support by taking that simple act of either leaving 5 stars for the show on Spotify, or even better, writing a written review and leaving 5 stars over on Apple Podcasts. Or if you're a real overachiever, you can do them both. That would be mad. If you're writing a review, though, just be sure to use G-rated words because despite the fact that this is a podcast about sexuality, words like sex can be censored and your review won't make it through the gates. Lame. Anyway, I would personally recommend doing that right now while you remember, just to get on top of it and let me know you're with me on this journey. Thanks, gang. Enjoy the rest of the epi.
All right. Okay. It's really loud, so I'll just have to like shove it under your nose when you're talking. But I would love to hear about, I guess, how you got into this and like maybe your first ever play party experience.
So this is our first ever dance party type experience. We've been to clubs before and to mingles, but never to a place like this.
But our first, we got into it with doing a nerdy survey. Nerdy. So
it's a mojo upgrade.
Had to send it to each other. We both answered questions, and it was like, you know, what do you want to do? Have sex with people watching, and
like a yes, no, maybe.
Yeah. And then it sends your results to each other when it's a match, and we were like, oh, okay, and you were like, oh, wow.
You want to fuck other guys, and you want to be watched, and you want to go to a sex club, and then it was like, first night, our bucket list was empty.
Yeah. We had to make a new one.
We did make a new one several times.
Oh my God, so you discovered that about each other through doing yes, no, maybe and the results being sent. So were you nervous that you weren't going to match up in that department?
And we'd been together for a long time and married for a long time by then.
Easily married 18 years at the time. Yeah, together.
Well over 20,
Well over 20.
25,
Oh my God, epic. And then, so how was it when you first started dabbling?
The first night we went to Between Friends, and it took a lot to get
me in the door.
I was just like, let's get in, let's go. And we went there and it was so welcoming and friendly, and the people that were there were great, and we felt so safe, and met a couple, and next thing I'm dragging you up the stairs and following me.
You fucked the first guy that touched you on the ass.
Yeah.
And how did you go with that?
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah.
It was so much fun, and we're like, oh, yeah, okay. And
you should ask these guys about first times.
Yeah, I will. Thank you for sharing, by the way.
We may or may not have been part of it.
You were definitely part of it. Oh my God. We joke that our first time was what we call the accidental orgy.
Love it.
We thought we were going back just with these two, and we ended up going back with these two plus those two. So 6 in the bed.
Initiation by fire.
It was.
Absolutely.
It was very overwhelming for a first time.
Yeah. I'm still.
Was it good?
Sorry. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was good. Well, we went back, so yeah.
But then, I mean, you could have gone back and then been like, uh-oh, I've bitten off more than I can chew.
I think we did feel like that at the start. And like these guys know, like I got out into the foyer of the hotel and just burst into tears because I was just overwhelmed. But then, and I'm saying, all right, I'm done. This was a mistake. We don't want to do it anymore. The next day I was messaging them being like, hey, had a great time. When can we do it again? Because I was so ready to go again.
Level back out.
Yeah.
It wasn't long.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't long. So, it's been an interesting, venture for us, We were both married to other people and in shit relationships where neither of us were getting what we needed sexually out of it. And so when we got together, we basically were like, well, we're not doing that again. We're going to say what we want and go for what we want. And, this is us doing that.
Pretty good at getting what you want.
That is so fucking epic. Do you have anything to add maybe about your first experience?
Oh, absolutely. Like, you're literally going cross-eyed trying to keep an eye on who you're with and who they're with, and when you've got 6 in one bed, your eyes don't know where to look. So it's just something you got to be mindful of, and you push through it, but...
You were pushing through it.
That hasn't stopped us since. So, time after time, it does ease the nerves each time. But, definitely getting your kid off on the middle of Flinders Street Station and walking in the club for the first time was a bit daunting.
That was one of our first events.
Yeah.
It was at Platform 21.
Platform 1, yeah.
Platform 1, yeah. And you just walked in off the street and you were told, here's a garbage bag, take your clothes off.
In the doorway, not even in the club yet. Rip it off, get on with it. We've got a line to get through. All right. Get in there, so...
Unceremonious. Let's just raw dog it.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. And do any of you have a particular fantasy or kink or fetish that you've been able to explore through these scenes other than, I guess, swinging, would you call it?
I think we're all building the fucket list, aren't we?
Yeah.
What's on the fucket list? I'll go.
We share our fucket list, don't we?
We do.
Yes. So we have
sent them to each other. And
all 4 of you or all 6 of you?
4 of us.
Yeah. Those guys know ours.
They know
ours. Okay. What are some
we share them so we can tick each other's things off together. Yeah.
And you've made one that now that I have to do.
I have a personal fucket list for Pebbles.
I've approved everything that's on it, but he can just call on any time and say you need to do this thing. Right. So it's like a bit of his kink list. Yeah.
And do you feel comfortable sharing some of the things on there?
I'm going to share all of it. Where's my phone?
There's things like go on a solo date with a girl, take home a guy or girl on your own.
Do you want me to go through it? All right. Have a guy come on your tits. Have a guy come on your face. Wear my cum in public. Have your remote controlled toy at work. Cam. So we like to do a little bit of internet camming. We like to do a lot of internet camming.
Your regulars.
So I want Pebbles to cam online without me.
That's about it.
Oh, you ticked one off yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I just had to wear a plug at work all day.
All day?
Butt plug?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. What about you guys? Fucket lists.
I suppose we've each had a couple of things that we've added to the list.
Yeah, as time goes on, you find that you're sort of getting more and more intrigued with certain things, and you speak to people in the lifestyle where they've been, 1 year, 2 year, 5, 10 years further down the line, and you sort of go, okay, that's intriguing, and then a lot more people have ticked things off and done things and explained to you how certain things work and what they find appealing, and I never thought about it that way. But we've only been in this scene 12 months, and we both appreciate seeing someone with another partner or another couple, things like that, and that sort of amalgamation of it. And
conversion is a big thing for us. So a lot of things on our bucket list are I'd love to see him with another woman and be able to just watch. I'd love for him and another man to have their way with me, be in the middle, that kind of thing. But there's a couple of things from their list that made it onto our list. A couple of things from their list that we'd already ticked off, and vice versa, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's good sharing it.
Yeah, it is. And talking to people about what they've done and what they find attractive, some of it you don't even think of, and you're like, wow, yeah, that actually is a big,
turn on.
Yeah, turn on thing to do. You wouldn't know.
Is there anything that you can think of off the top of your head that kind of happened where you hadn't thought about it or how it would be attractive to you, but someone else describing it made you go, oh, and then you've now gotten into it?
Probably more like the public exhibitionism, we've sort of never thought about. You do it, in front of someone in a room, have another partner, another couple, and then when you're doing it on a stage in front of, 20, 30 people, you're like, wow, I never knew that had sort of really scratched an itch that you didn't even know that you had.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest one for me as well is, even just thinking back 12 months ago, getting into our first club where we took our clothes off and you're in your lingerie, and I thought that was a big deal. And I think, 3 weeks ago we were in a club doing it behind some prison bars while a whole bunch of people watched us. I loved it. So
fucking go, guys. You get it. That's so dope. Curious, because like a lot of people that hear that I go to these parties are like, that are men or have penises are like, I just don't think I could like perform on cue or like get it up. Like, how often do you kind of take some like performance enhancing?
Every time.
Every time?
Every time.
Just in case? For peace of mind? Yeah.
Every time, without fail.
It's a mental thing, and we've taken a lot to get past it. Like I've had a lot of times that I've probably.
ED's a real thing, right?
Yeah.
And lots of guys who are new, like...
100%.
I've probably gone to Scotland, like we gone home and gone, no, that wasn't great because they couldn't get hard because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
So like it's, the more you talk about it, the more you find that there's so many guys in the lifestyle that are just taking it all the time.
And the second couple we ever played with just said like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Like, cool, just buy it online and away you go.
Yeah. There's just too much going on around to...
like the amount of pressure, like even how much you could get in your head and then
it's only mental. It's only mental.
Yeah. And like, what about you? Need to take some Viagra and stuff just to make sure peace of mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is true that 90% of it's mental, like, and it's day-to-day basis, whether you've got enough hydration, enough food, enough sleep, work, life, it's all in your head.
Yeah.
And when you come to like things like this where you've got literally 200 people just watching you, you're sort of in the back of your mind, you got to really let go of the fucks and just focus on what you got in front of you. Sometimes it just doesn't work.
Totally. Almost all the couples we've been with, and it's not a huge list at the moment, but all of the men have said that they've taken something, and it is. So it's like he said, it's a thing. So
awesome. I mean, I think more people need to just be talking about it and acknowledging it and being honest and real about it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a big mental block for so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
just normalising it too. Like when it happens.
Exactly.
It's hard to sort of get out of it, but you got to treat it like it's not a big issue. Like we've had partners that, have told us some of their other partners, as soon as it doesn't happen, they just go into a hissy fit, throw things around, carry on, and just storm off kind of thing. So that's the worst thing, especially for the female who's trying her best to, encourage it up. Yeah, it is hard, but also with new partners too, like you don't know how to really work with your partner. It might take 2 or 3 times to really learn their bodies.
Yeah, totally. Man, it really it breaks my heart to hear, because I'm a sex coach and I work with lots of different clients, and sometimes I work with men that have been had a real issue with ED, and it started from this one time that it happened with a one-night stand or a person, and that person shamed them or was like, oh, what are you good for then? Oh, what? Or they're like, oh, is it me? And because they made such a big deal of it, it's created this fucking vicious cycle.
And it is.
And now it's just spiraled out of control, and they have a difficulty every time. And it's such a delicate thing, and I hate hearing when people make it personal, make it a big deal. That's the most damaging thing you could fucking do. Okay, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share before you scoot on?
I think just for people to know not to judge it, give it a go, but also it's not for everyone, and it's not a fix-it for any broken relationships either. Don't think it's that, but get out there, and I think it's the best thing for communication in a relationship.
100%. Yeah. It's it requires amazing communication as a baseline, and then it levels the fuck up out of you.
Yeah. But you have to have that strong communication to begin with, though. It's like what you said. It's not going to fix anything, but it's going to enhance what you've already got if it's the thing for you. Yeah.
I've seen you guys do it. It was pretty cute.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with you guys. Fuck yeah. Go get it. I'm so proud of you all. Very cool, very cool. And listen to the epi. Oh my God, kink educator and consent angel. This is dope. I interviewed a couple of consent angels a few months back when I first did an event.
Yeah.
And they were some of my favourite conversations. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for talking to me. Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I have been around the kink scene and sex positive spaces since adulthood, having a late career change where I get to host socials, and my socials are geared towards people that appreciate sort of a little bit of a slower space, a little bit more sort of parties are great, but they're not how I meet people. I tend to sort of bond with people in spaces where you get to have sort of quieter, deeper conversations. And so, yeah, I run a sharing circle and I run a social that allow people that are kinky and E&M and queer to connect. And I also, teach a number of topics, consent negotiation, also I'm running a workshop up in Sydney as part of AskFest for training consent angels and dungeon monitors.
Oh my God. Okay, so firstly, dungeon monitor?
So dungeon monitors is an older term. It comes out of spaces predominantly sort of the gay Leatherman culture. So where you have a kink dungeon, and so they are the safety monitors or the people that manage those spaces.
Right. Cool.
And that has evolved, and there are still plenty of dungeons and dungeon monitors around. Consent Angels is catching on much more in Australia. They exist in other parts of the world at festivals in Europe and in swinging spaces in the United States. And the role of a consent angel is really one of hosting the space and helping people to regulate, be in the space, and come to an understanding of how to explore their sexuality in these spaces.
Dope, I love that. So when you say that you run socials, are they kind of events where people in that scene can meet one another, have a bit of a circle, workshopping time, and then have a bit of a play?
No, so it's a non-play space that I host. I think that it's important to sort of separate meeting people and sort of getting to know them, sharing information about your experiences, and then having time for that to integrate and not rush into play. There are people, absolutely, and I think it comes with experience that when you come to these spaces, you begin to build up a bit of a social scene, you see the same faces, or you become more experienced about how to negotiate on the fly in these really hectic spaces. But most people don't start out there. Most people need to sort of understand a little bit more context and find a group to go to events with, find out which events are right for them. Like we're at obviously Boudoir, which is an amazing sensory overload and like lots of adventures that you can have here. But it's not representative of all events.
Yeah.
I work other events, like temple events where it's a co-created space and it's much more, a smaller number, very sort of led by the temple hosts, and people can have deeper explorations, or it's often a very good starting point for people. It borrows from that tantric practice, but they're getting progressively more kink focused in Melbourne, which is amazing.
I've noticed. Okay, so if you were to have like a message or a tip or some advice for like a beginner that was curious and wanted to dip their toe in, what would that be?
I think that you need to go through a phase of exploring and like set your goal as being sort of I'm an information harvester. And go into these spaces not expecting to have a million orgasms. Go into these spaces to actually find out what happens in them. And, you know, if it happens that you do go to your first event and you do end up sort of having a million orgasms, great, you're one of those people. But that is one side of the bell curve. Most people don't get that experience. So yeah, don't be disappointed in yourself. If you have to try a few different spaces to find out what works for you, like, the first time we had sex, we didn't know what was going to work for us, and we might have only had one type of sex. You're doing this at scale now. So
at scale, that's great.
Yeah, like, I mean, there are people that come to these events and it's the first time that they've had, sexual experiences with multiple partners on the same night. You don't have to do it that way, but you can. But for most people, you know, you started out by progressively losing different V cards. You know, you had a pash, you went to third base, you maybe like had some oral, and then you like became like it had penetrative sex. Expect this to be an evolution of that process, and kind of go, okay, I don't have to do all of the things all at once. I don't have to be like the person that I can see over there that is in the middle of a gangbang.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Yeah. And
walk before you run.
Yeah. One way of saying it is go slower than slow, then slower than that. Which is what you would tell a learner driver.
Absolutely. Love that. One last thing I'm very curious about as a kink educator, if you don't mind sharing, like, what are your main kinks?
I probably always default to some sort of sensation play. Sensation play is probably the first kink where I was really switchy. I love the challenge of using pervertibles, so everyday objects, things like rulers, spoons, texters.
And call it pervertible because you can pervert these regular objects. Oh my God, I've never heard that. That's amazing.
Did not coin it, but like, yes. Yes.
Cool.
So that's always a great go-to because there is always something around that you can use in a way that wasn't originally intended to, whether that's just an ice cube out of your drink, or whether you go and like buy some like links of chain from Bunnings and use that for temperature play and sensation play. So that's the thing. But yeah, I've loved to experiment, and what I've always found is that my partner and exploring and negotiating with a partner tends to open up kinks that I didn't think that I had.
Yeah. What's a kink that you didn't think you had that was opened up by a partner that surprised you?
Probably humiliation. Humiliation and sort of degradation is psychologically a really tricky area for me. So it took a partner that could calibrate it and I had a lot of trust with before I could actually sort of go there and figure out what worked well for me. So because like a lot of people, you tend to see portrayals of these sorts of things where it's at the extreme end, and so you don't sort of get to see what the baby steps are going up to it, and whether that's sort of like just, okay, I'm going to turn the lights off and have you undress at this open window.
Okay.
So, and now I'm going to tell you what a dirty girl you are for doing that, and how I can see that the neighbour's watching, even though they're not really. But yeah, the finding gateways into different kinks, and one of the lovely things about having a community or having education opportunities is sort of finding out that information that there are different ways into this, and you can tap into, okay, I understand how that's sexy now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so important because more often than not, we will see the more advanced or extreme end of the spectrum with some of these kinks and go, oh no, that's not for me. Oh, I could never do that. But yeah, the little baby steps that sort of slowly get you moving in that direction could be a real turn on, or could be an entry point that, yeah, allows you to actually start exploring it in a safe way and then surprise yourself down the track.
Yeah, Dan Savage coined the term good giving and game, and there's a lot of academic research that's actually been done on that good giving and game. And game means being able to sort of like go, okay, I'm not necessarily into what you're into, but I'm game to sort of try it so that it's like about your pleasure for a little while, and I'm going to sort of find a way to be good about doing that. Also, the good refers to having some sexual experience where you can competently come to being good at different expressions of sexuality. So, yeah, like there's finding those baby steps and finding a way into it that can be interesting for you, even though it's not your kink.
Totally. I love that. Thank you so much. This has been very insightful.
Hey, me again. If you'd like to support the potty and you've already given it 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening on, I want to mention that you can buy some really dope merch from the website and get yourself a Labia Lounge tote, tee, togs. Yep, you heard that right. I even have Labia Lounge bathers. Or a cute fanny pack if that'd blow your hair back. So if fashion isn't your passion though, you can donate to my Buy Me a Coffee donation page, which is actually called Buy Me a Soy Chai Latte, because I'll be the first to admit I'm a bit of a Melbourne cafe tosser like that. And yes, that is my coffee order. You can do a once-off donation or an ongoing membership and sponsor me for as little as 3 fat ones a month. And I also offer one-on-one coaching and online courses that'll help you level up your sex life and relationship with yourself and others in a really big way. So every bit helps, because it ain't cheap to put out a sweet podcast into the world every week out of my own pocket. So I will be undyingly grateful if you support me and my biz financially in any of these ways. And if you like, I'll even give you a mental BJ with my mind from the lounge itself. Saucy. And I'll pop the links in the show notes. Thank you. Later.
All over me and just like stunning, like stuntalina. Jesus Christ.
Imagine if it was your sister.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to happen. I thought it was like going to stitch up.
Like she had like long red hair. They're both Caucasian.
What are they doing?
They're just walking past me. And I was like,
and you choked on your drink. Oh my God, what a compliment. You should tell them. Weren't you just saying that?
Everything was happening so quickly.
Okay.
I was watching the mermaid getting tied up, and then she was like struggling. She was like, and like wagging her tail. And I was like, I've never seen this before, but this is doing something to me, man.
It's only recently have I seen shibari done.
Oh, well.
Where they're like, there's like this like kind of rebellion from the bunny.
Oh.
Where they're like,
whoa.
Yeah, fucking tie me up. And I'm like, I thought that was not like.
It's more of a submission thing.
Yeah.
Rather than like power from the submissive person. Like from the person being tied up?
As in it normally is that? Or that's what you're saying when they were like,
I was asked.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
She was like completely submissive and then like struggling. But she looked like she was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I love it when it's like a bit subversive or something. And it's like even just that, like my favorite burlesque performances are when it's not just purely sexy, it's like hilarious and like skanky and like filthy in like funny ways, and like they just do like a really good job of like yeah, they bring humor into it in this really fucking iconic way that like makes me completely riveted. Because if it's just performative sexuality, I'm bored. I don't like it.
So before I could tell that she was like almost about to laugh, and there's some like, I think if it's too serious, it kind of steers away from intimacy
and
like,
authenticity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's too performative, it's going to be too serious.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that.
It also gives me an opportunity to hone in on like what turns me on.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we're in that room
smorgasbord.
watching that, like the piggies and stuff,
yeah.
all I could think about was like how badly I wanted to like spank someone. I was like, I'd love to be like I would just love to just like have someone strapped up and just spank. You know, like that's all I could think about in there. And I was like, yeah, okay, all right, this is what I like.
True. You're very like malleable in like a way. Like it's like see things, and if it looks like, I don't know, I feel like
I think I adapt to something that activates like a certain
Yeah.
Because like I love being a very submissive person in the bedroom, but I also love being like a very dominant person. But it's not what I think about when in my everyday life. Everyday sex life isn't like who's the dom, who's the sob.
Yeah.
It's more of like a union. It's like a connective experience, right? But like branching out environments like this, I'm like, and I love like role playing stuff. I wouldn't gravitate towards like fictional role play where it's like who's the queen, who's the king, who's the altar boy, who's the priest, like
Yeah.
It's too performative, like you said. But yeah, I don't know.
That's fucking sick. I wish I had a more.
open-minded.
Yeah, that's it. And like I feel like very adaptable, and you can find something to enjoy in such a variety of things. Whereas I feel like way more like narrow in what I can get into.
So nothing in there.
Nothing.
It's
No.
like made you wet.
No way. No way.
That's so fine though.
I know.
That's like,
it's pretty boring. But
you're not boring. It's just that like, it's not for you.
Yeah, but I wish more things were for me. And wouldn't that be exciting
There
to just
are a lot of
continue to
things
discover
that are there
things?
for you. Like you might go to like I'm gonna go on a random tangent.
Go on.
You might love
We're here for it.
that. You go to like Brazil for like 3 weeks and love fucking in the jungle, and you're like, this is my fetish. I'm in nature. I'm in the jungle.
I'm an
There's no one around.
ecosexual.
Yeah, I'm an ecosexual. It's like you're not fucking a tree, but you're fucking a person. And you're like, and your feet are in mud, and like the mud's going under your toenails.
You
and you're
don't
like,
need
I'm
to go to
dirty.
Brazil for that. Like, you can find that out pretty quick around
You go to
here.
like Mount Macedon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just prefer a comfy bed, you know? I mean, it sounds like effort.
Have you
having
had
to, like,
sex outdoors?
Yeah. It's uncomfortable. It's nice if you've got like nice grass and a picnic rug or something.
About, like,
Not
the
if I'm.
energy of being outside.
No, I love that, but I don't want to be like feeling like rough bark on my back while I'm having to have stand-up sex. That sounds so not. I can't be bothered with that. I
You can
just want
put
a
down
comfy,
like a nice day camp bed.
But fucking, I love having sex
That's
outside.
what I do.
Yeah, if I have like
I'm not
a
going
bed.
to fuck on park. What am I?
Okay.
Hang on. I think the essence of like the outdoorness is how spontaneous it is, right? Like it's like you're not going to bring a mattress with you as you're going for the hike and going, oh, here's the spot. Now let's slow down and let's do this and let's have
I need
sex.
to have like glamping
It's like
jungle sex.
you're walking along and then you're just going, hey, now's the time.
Yeah, see, I don't.
But that's it.
doesn't go for me.
He said it. Spontaneous sex in nature is like how it needs to happen. You can't just plan it. Be like,
But that's where I run up. That's where I run up against the like. I'm torn between like loving being in nature and spontaneous, yay, and also like not having like soft surfaces and, you know, feeling freshly showered, or like if I'm camping, like I don't feel like having sex that much. Just like, I don't know, I'm not that like rough and ready. I'm like, hi mate, and I need to just like,
Things need to be set. They need to be ready. You need to.
I can be spontaneous, but they're just, it's comfort. It's like textures and comfort is my absolute, if I'm distracted by sticks getting in my back or like I can do it and I've had good, enjoyable outdoor sex. But like I would prefer, like a mattress at least. Or like a picnic rug on some like grass. I like a lawn. A good lawn, down. I'm so down. As long as I'm not going to graze my knees or like be too cold. I'm pretty happy, but my body needs to be comfortable. Yeah.
I think maybe like what you said before is probably the reason why none of this turns you on.
And a lot of it doesn't look very comfortable.
You comfort queen.
Yeah, like I can't get around like latex and leather and the strappy. Like I don't own lingerie. I can't fuck with anything that's not like really comfortable. Yeah, so
that's almost your kink then, right? Like you need,
make a thing
sex
out of
and
comfort.
Oodies and like million pillows out there and
like make a thing out of comfort. Like comfort is your fetish.
Yeah.
So like expand on that.
Okay.
And like
I like
step the
this.
fuck into it and just be like, I need comfort. Like
I mean, I do,
fucking
but I could go further. I feel like I do. I definitely curate. Like I'm not having sex if I'm not like pretty comfortable and there's like nice music, nice lighting. I'm warm enough. I'm on a comfy bed or something, like maybe a couch, maybe. I don't know, like.
Not your couch, because that's fucking...
No, fuck that thing.
When's the last good sex you had that wasn't that?
Are you guys doing a podcast right now?
We were going
I know are you recording right now?
Yeah, but I don't think the audio is going to be usable. It's fucking so like, because it's just recording everything and it's too, we can.
I guess that's part of it.
I would have to be holding it quite close to you when you talk. And I didn't want to shove it in your face.
I mean, do it as we're talking.
Okay, I'll try. Oh, we just got to huddle. Okay. Anyway, when's the last time I had good sex that I wasn't in a comfortable bed? Well, on the beach, but that's pretty comfortable. Sand is nice. If I've got a
yeah, but compared to your
towel.
to your bed, it's not that comfortable.
No.
Like you're on earth.
Yeah, but it's
for me.
Definitely
there's not
hot.
much difference between beach sex is closer to jungle and forest and grassland sex than it is bed sex.
Yeah, but you can be clean, and then you can also just jump in the ocean whenever you need to rinse off, and like it's usually warm if you're in the sun. And the sun's on your skin and that's nice. And like sand is soft so you're not going to like graze your knees. And as long as I've got like a towel down.
It sounds like texture's your thing.
Yeah. Sensory.
All the things you were mentioning, like bark on your back.
Yeah.
Sun on your skin, water.
You point out a lot of sensory features.
Textures.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Contribute to your experience. So those are very important to put on the forefront.
I do, yeah.
What you enjoy.
Yeah.
So
fucking
I think it's really important that you can't tell you what to do, but maybe refraining from focusing on what you should be doing in terms of expanding on your sexuality and sexual experiences and encounters, and actually focusing more on what you do enjoy and expanding on that instead.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm also still pretty content with like how I am sexually. I don't like it would be fun and more exciting, and that would be cool to be. But
so it's not a need; it's a curiosity.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and also because I just talk to so many people about sex, and I have so many conversations about all the different kinds of sex everyone's having and what everyone's into. I'm like, that's just fun. I wish I was into that, but I'm just not. And that's when I'm like, now I've got FOMO. Yeah, I wish I could just be more like.
But how do you know if they are actually enjoying sex on the level that you are? Is it really
I ask myself that question about everything.
They might not know anything else other than what they're experiencing that they find adventurous and fun, and that could be much lower, on a much lower bar, on a stimuli level to what you're experiencing in comfort with these sensory pleasures that you are prioritizing when you're experiencing something.
Maybe. I don't know.
So maybe you're not missing out. Maybe they're missing out on what you're experiencing.
Maybe. I don't know. I talk to people that are having amazing sex, and I talk to a lot of people having terrible, terrible sex. And so I'm right in the middle, I think. I'm not having any sex at the moment, so that's my first problem. But
why don't you bring the jungle? Why don't you bring the jungle to the
guess where we are?
Wait, bring what to the jungle?
Bring the jungle to the bed. I would do that because I prefer a bed. Like if I'm at someone's house and they want to have sex and we're on the couch, I'd be like,
let's just move this party. Yeah,
there's too many fucking pillows. Like
where's the tambark? Where's the leaves?
Where do you like to have sex? What's your take on all of this?
I'm just stoked when I'm having sex, to be honest. Like I wouldn't say I have like a strong desire for one or the other, but I would be like, there was a time where I was like all into nature. Like nature just did it for me. And that's because I was like, I was so relaxed, so calm. It was about the hike. There was spontaneity about it. And like you'd both kind of know. You'd just be like walking along and then there'd be like either a look or a touch and you're like, all right, well,
We're on.
it's happening.
Oh. And then would you stand up or lay down or find some moss? Like all of the above?
All of the above. Like, yeah, you get to experiment with that, I think, which is nice. And I think if there's, I want to say enough passion, it doesn't really kind of matter.
I think that's where, so I'm not, this is going to sound so weird, but I'm not like a super passionate person in the bedroom. Like I have my own version of that.
What
but
do you
like,
mean by that?
I'm taken out of the moment way more easily by like being too cold or like a stick up my bum or something than like someone who's just so in the fiery passion. Like I was describing to you the other day, like I feel like my sexual energy is very watery and like mellow and it can come to a boil, but it's still like, I'm not just like throwing clothes off in reckless abandon, just wanting to get on the D as soon as possible because I'm so passionate. Like that's not at all my experience. So I think when I'm in nature, like cool until my body's not comfortable anymore. And then I'm like distracted by that. And then I want to make that feel better because it's taking away from the pleasure. I'm not like such a hornbag that's so in the passion that I can just ignore everything else. Do you know what I mean?
This might be a tough question. Might not be. Have you had truly great sex?
Yeah. Yeah, fucking.
What did that involve?
But that entails, for me, incredibly deep love and intimacy and trust and feeling like this is my person. And so it's pretty fucking hard to have that amazing sex when like you just don't have a person at the time and you haven't built that like trust and connection and intimacy over a period of time. Like for me, the sex gets better and better the longer I'm with someone.
So does there have to be some form of like commitment or like
no,
like some form of deep formation of like connection with the person? Or do they have to actually be in like a union, like a...
no, it can, I guess, yeah, I know what you mean.
Like an established dynamic or something with you where it's not going to change or like...
That definitely helps. I can definitely have great sex anyway, even if it's like more of a new thing or, not a like committed relationship, but it doesn't hold a candle to like what it can be if I am in a committed relationship and I'm like, there's a level of like, we're in this, I think that's where I'm at these days. And like, because it's so about like trust and safety, like I can have that with people other than a partner, but like, it's not going to be on the same level as like I think the hottest sex ever would be like baby making sex with someone I love, creating a family together. Like, I'm sort of going off that idea nowadays, but like that's been my like sexual blueprint is just like cool, like
it's like on a biological level almost.
I just like, yeah, I don't know. The thought of like being with this person and getting to continue deepening indefinitely and growing and like building on our like connection and exploring together over time, the more trust, the more love, the more intimacy that grows, like that's the best. Yeah.
Totally get that.
There's so much in that.
There's
so much in that.
You just revealed so many layers of yourself through that.
I mean, I'm open about that. That's why I don't have casual sex. I don't do one night stands. I haven't had sex in like nearly a year because I just haven't felt like having sex with anyone because it's actually like not going to be good for me unless there's at least some like connection and it's ongoing, like.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think this like desire for that level of intimacy or connection, where does that come from, you reckon? Like in connection, in relation to sex?
That's a very weighted question. Be interested to see how you answer.
Is that too?
No,
not at all. Not at all.
We're being recorded right now.
Yeah,
but it's up to her. She's got agency here. It's like,
yeah,
but that is like if you ask me that, I would be it would take me a little while to answer.
Well, I've forgotten the question
Well, you
now.
can answer it after, right?
Yeah, you can go next.
I forgot the question.
I have.
Where do you feel like this
Oh, the need for the
or the desire for intimacy, deep intimacy and deep connection, and like that's what
Yeah.
makes good sex. Like, where do you think that comes?
I think that's like actually kind of just me and my sort of sexual blueprint and the stage of life I'm at where I'm really ready to like have a partner and find my person. And I've experienced, well, I had that, or I thought that's what that was. It ended. But like in the time that all went down, I was like, this is peak. Like this is what I've wanted for so long. And I'm experiencing like more attraction and love and like passion and, all the things like than I have before because I have that safety. And I think it's because like, also I haven't really ever had like an emotional home or like a very stable physical home either. So I'm always seeking like belonging and connection and community and like someone, choosing me and me choosing them and like this sort of feeling of someone just having my back, like the amount of safety that allows me to feel will just open up my sexuality. So like
trust.
Yeah, it's trust. It's like, it's something I've been craving my whole life and I've never really had. There's never been like an unconditional loving connection where I'm like, this person's got me no matter what. And I've just been seeking that. And like, so now my sort of sexuality is kind of tied up in like I can still enjoy sex anyway. And I've definitely had some really beautiful like friends with benefits situations where we're friends for such a long time and we go in and out of being sexual and we've got so much love for each other as a foundation that it's like, cool, I can open there, but it's still not as fucking good as being like, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person and like, I just want to have their babies,
Home.
Home. Yeah, home.
Feeling of home.
Yeah.
Is like refined, like boiled down, simmered down to like one word is like home in an experience is what you're seeking.
And
based on
the
everything
reason
else.
it's so strong, that urge, is because like I love the whole idea of like it confronts me a lot and it challenges me a lot, but like relationship anarchy and the thought of like not ever having one primary person, just never feeling like that person's your person forever, but having other friendships on a similar tier and like different sexual relationships where you're actually getting that sense of home and belonging and commitment from like different sources. Like that would be the ideal, but we don't have that in the way that the word's structured. That's pretty rare. And I don't, like friends, you can have this beautiful thing, but like at the end of the day, they're probably going to get a partner and they're going to have kids and couple up and fuck off, or they're going to move or like whatever. They're not your life partner. Like if I could have like a friend that was a life partner, sick. I probably wouldn't feel the need as much to have like a partner, but that's not really how people do things. And so, yeah, I just like the idea of having like a ride or die that I get to have sex with forever.
I feel like you couldn't have answered his question any better.
That's the fucking one of the most beautiful answers I think I've fucking heard. That's so like
thanks.
It's like yeah, that was really lovely to hear.
Oh, thank you.
And I think for me as like someone who's I've got like this almost disbelief in monogamy.
Yeah.
That there's like this your life partner and the soulmate and this is the person that was put on this earth for you. And it's actually really lovely to hear the polar opposite side of that, which is like, no, I've got this fucking belief that there's this person there for me and my body is waiting for that and my sexuality is like that's where all my life force is going.
I don't know if I believe that person, there's not one person, firstly, like at all, but I've kind of lost belief that person exists because I thought I'd found it and then, yeah, it's like still very scarring that I lost that and that's not. Yeah, so I've kind of had my belief like shook a fair bit, but it almost just makes me want it even more, which is definitely kind of unhealthy and I'm aware of that, but I'm like, I can't be bothered doing the fucking self-work to not feel the need for that. At least right now, that's still what I want. And like, I would love to be proven right. I've been proven wrong a lot, but like, I think it exists and I hope I can just like create that for myself. There's got to be someone else that feels similarly to me. That's also really hot and dope and smart and funny single and my age and in Melbourne.
It definitely is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might be here tonight. And around the corner, behind the curtain, we have...
Surprise.
How would you guys answer? Well, I guess you don't have the same... I don't know. What do you feel about that? How would you answer that question?
I would say that I've learned from a young age, I've learned to be a very adaptable person sexually and intimately. Doesn't necessarily mean that I enjoy on a fulfilling level every sexual encounter that I experience. But I would also say that I have sex as if I really love the person, because I'm not necessarily focusing on creating a loving monogamous relationship or anything like that. I'm not a monogamous person, but I also don't like one night stands. And I think there is this like subconscious motive to be very selective and fussy with who I do have a one night stand with, so that there is some continuation from there and some exploring. I am very adventurous, and I don't feel like one night stands are adventurous or explorative for me. When I say adventurous and explorative, like I mentioned earlier, intimacy for me doesn't begin in the bedroom. It begins like way before. And there are so many things that add on to me being and feeling aroused. And arousal for me can expand to a level where I can have multiple orgasms in a night with somebody, and there needs to be that safety and trust there. And when that's there, I can really tap into this wilderness beast inside of me that is constantly craving to, come out of its cage. And I don't think that I can experience that in like group sex and threesomes. Like I definitely enjoy them circumstantially, but like it's more of a playful activity.
Yeah. Activity.
And also like a sensual experience. And like if it's something new to me, because I'm quite a curious person, I'm like, yeah, like fuck it, let's do it. Like if I feel like the situation feels safe and no one's gonna get hurt, I'm not gonna get hurt. Everyone's gonna take something really positive away from this experience, and fuck it, let's do it. But I have had too many toxic experiences in my life that have taught me to become a lot more vigilant and really quite apt at like reading situations with new people to a point where I kind of wait for something that I'm still trying to figure out what it is, but some kind of indication that it is going to be a healthy, safe, sexy experience for me, where I'm going to either learn something or experience something that could grow. I don't enjoy these like stagnant sexual experiences, but I crave ultimate ultimate energetic, I guess like that very strong emotional connection, very strong sexual connection where I can stay present and last all night.
Dope.
I have such a good, strong staying power. And as soon as I feel like that person is like trying to get to the finish line, or, like there's this like rush, then I'm turned off. I want to like just go wherever it leads us. And
great answer.
But one night stands feel quite pointless to me.
Yeah.
And when I say I'm not monogamous, doesn't mean that I don't want lovers in my life. I can't have more than like 2 or 3. That's exhausting for me.
God.
I've been in poly relationships before. There's too much communication, too much fucking like, it's just too much time,
so much to
energy,
navigate all the
and
time.
it's exhausting. I work 6 days a week. I don't have fucking time for one person, like one relationship, but someone that I have that really strong connection with, to be like, to text with, to have sexy phone calls with while I'm at work, you know, be creative, role play, you know, like I'm all for it. But yeah, I've also had a lot of serious relationships and, yeah, sorry for going on a tangent.
Nah, love it.
Based on what you said before, I've felt like that. And I've experienced firsthand a few times that lifestyle isn't for me.
Yeah. Okay.
It's make-believe to me, but it's not make-believe to you. That's your reality. This is my reality. And in my reality, sustainably, it's not.
Yeah.
It feels quite fictional right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Good chat.
Great chat. Great chat. Lots in there as well.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. I forgot the question, but do you have anything you want to share while we're here?
Well, I had a I'm actually nervous to ask this question.
Okay.
Go for it. Yeah.
You're okay. Like, you obviously don't know what the question is.
I don't know.
You're obviously keen. It's pretty edgy, but like, maybe it's not. Where does that sit? Because you two are obviously a relatively new connection.
Well, I think we're still in the stage of navigating intimacy, and I'm an extremely patient person, and I also have no expectations at all. I'm happy to go wherever she goes, but I enjoy whatever we do together, and however we spend our time together, because all of it is intimacy to me. So,
that's so nice. I love it. He talks so good.
Oh, yeah.
We've been having good chat.
I'll bet.
We're just figuring it out right
Because
now.
I'm a little bit drunk.
I'm stoned as fuck. No, you're killing it. You're killing it. Isn't he killing it? Yeah, we are all killing this.
I also like focus very much on balancing my needs with other people's and in my everyday life outside of sexual intimacy. And if I feel like there is like some kind of lopsided, I guess, all right, for example, if I felt like Freya was constantly focusing on her and not really focusing on my needs, then I would feel like there was this like really big imbalance. So it has nothing to do with what she is willing to put forward and put on the table sexually. It's more about like the
energy,
the thoughtfulness and consideration and like intimacy outside of sex. Like that's just like an action. It's just like a dance, really. If you don't feel like doing tango with me, then maybe we can go and fucking rap in the corner together. I don't know. That was a really corny shit thing to say.
Record some freestyles later.
Oh my God.
I mean, like that. It's a very weighted question. I don't. It's the only way I know how to answer it.
Well, for me, what's going through my head is like, and I think I said this to you, I'm like, because we haven't had sex, and I'm like, I know myself well enough to be like slightly cautious, because I know that because when I like trust someone enough and I like them enough to have sex with them and we're having the kind of sex that I like to have, I can definitely just like fall really hard for people, and I don't want to fall really hard for you because we have totally different relating styles and needs in the long term. And like ultimately I am wanting to like find my person and like do the thing. Maybe that's naive. Maybe it's never going to happen. But that's why I'm also so happy to have like side quests and just like learn and explore. And I feel like we can have, like I said, like a healing, explorative, loving time. And if it gets too much for me and I'm like, like I'm actually just going to get too emotionally entangled and it's going to be bad for me in the long run, then I'll just like back the fuck up.
I guess I'm protecting you from that. Because I don't want you to feel like, you're, I guess, like falling in love from a deep sexual connection that you can't see around based on your experiences that you've had already.
Well, I think the tricky thing is like, I need the emotional connection to kind of be there enough to have that kind of sex, and therefore emotions are already wrapped up in it. So it's like, I just need to like tread cautiously and like head in like with all that, like an awareness of that, which is probably why, because like I'm not like letting myself let go. So then you don't feel safe to let go. So we're just kind of like tiptoeing up to the water and then just like sussing it out.
But it's based on your sense of safety that I feel that way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not me. It's like, it's literally based on like,
yeah, because you're very like attuned. Yeah, no, totally. So
and that's so fine. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything you don't want to do.
I know. Yeah, so that's where that's at. Yeah.
Thanks for exploring that. That's like real-time shit right there.
Yeah. I'm all about that.
I just hope that I
love
haven't said anything confusing.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, don't worry. No, this is good. This is how I do things.
This is where the fucking parties happen.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I love this. There's like
everyone
1,000 people inside having sex. And we're like, what about love? How does that intimacy? I keep, like, I'm sorry if I get distracted, but I keep looking at like, the way people are dressed and all these things. I'm like, they would make anyone here would be a fucking fantastic episode.
I know.
And I was just thinking you should interview a consent angel.
I interviewed a couple last time. Yeah. They're legends. They're fucking legends.
All right, my loves, that's a bit of a wrap. Quite an abrupt ending, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, I mean, it's already been a freaking long one, so I'm going to end it there. And that's it, darling hearts. Thanks for stopping by the Labia Lounge. Your bum groove in the couch will be right where you left it, just waiting for you to sink back in for some more double L action next time. If you'd be a dear and subscribe, share this episode, or leave a review on iTunes, then you can pat yourself on the snatch, because that's a downright act of sex-positive feminist activism, and you'd be supporting my vision to educate, empower, demystify and destigmatize with this here podcast. I'm also always open to feedback, topic ideas that you'd love to hear covered, questions or guest suggestions, so feel free to get in touch via my website or over on Insta. You can also send me in TMI stories to be shared anonymously on the pod. My handle is FreyaGraf_the Labia Lounge, if my account hasn't been deleted for being too sex positive, which, is always a possibility with censorship. But just in case the chronic censorship finally does obliterate my social channels, I'd highly recommend going and joining my mailing list and snagging yourself some fun freebies for the trouble at www.freyagraf.com/freebies. Anyway, later, labial legends. See you next time.